The best podcast in the world. Come on, Steele.
Go.
Y'all know about the NWO. You don't know about that NWO, baby.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, that's my jam right there. John Machota, Law Nation, Skywalker Steele in the black and white. How does Sky get all these cool background?
Man, to turn it black and white, man, that boy
NWO right now, man. It's because when we start talking about what I think we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna have a little NWO energy. Is all I'm saying.
Fireworks tonight. Let's go. Man, what episode are we on? We off season now. So what episode are we on now,
do we kick it all the way over? Or was it 92?
I think are we in the 90s? Did we do DeMarcus Lawrence?
I don't think we got to 90 yet.
Okay, D-Law.
Yeah, I think this is 90.
This is 90. D-Law.
Well, we didn't do this last show.
We
didn't do this last show, so this might be 91, but
91. Ladder-sore? Was he 91?
He was
91. LP Ladder-sore. There we go.
LP Ladder-sore.
Cyrus Wheat.
Hold his number. I love 91.
Cyrus Wheat is
LP Ladder-sore got the, he got the what is it, short end of the stick, because of the Jason Witten record. Yeah, if y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
What do you guys know about Demetrius Underwood?
I don't know him.
Wait a minute.
I don't know.
What number was Marcus Dixon when he was here?
Underwood.
Marcus
Dixon was here.
Marcus Dixon played here. So what number was he?
But he was like practice, well, or did he get called? No, seriously. I think he was on. No, he was on the practice squad. But
yeah, they give him like weird numbers though, right? He didn't have weird numbers.
If you 93, 98, yeah. I don't know, dog. 78 on D-line.
93 is a good number. 98 is
cool.
98. That's Crawford.
93 is ugly, y'all. Stop it.
What?
On the D-line? Nah.
D-line number for that's a good number.
Give me 6 on the defensive line.
Do y'all like that, by the way?
No. I'll tell you, 93 ain't been working out for the Cowboys.
Nah, let me close my
only 93.
Let me run off some 93s for you real quick.
Run off some 93s, Johnny.
Linval Joseph.
Not bad.
Viliame Fehoko. Terrell Basham. Walter Palmore. Daniel Ross. Benson Mayoa. Ken Bishop. Anthony Spencer. Kenyon Coleman.
Remember Kenyon Coleman and Bishop days.
And it doesn't really get any better after that. So, yeah.
Yeah, nah. 93 is gross to me.
93?
Yeah. I will say this, though. 99 for me. If you a 99, you a dog. I feel like you a dog.
99's hard. Yeah, 99's hard.
Antoine Woods, baby.
I feel like 90, you a dog. I don't know. 97. Anyway, we are here for the Cowboys Collective. We got a load of show. We're going to run through a lot today, and we're going to start transitioning to the off-season talks, and glad we got Sky here. He's our residency free agency guru, so we'll get ready for that.
Guru.
And we're going to really, how I think we will talk about it behind the scenes is really breaking down, doing surgery on the roster, every position group, and then leading that up to the free agency period. Obviously, we'll get updates from the combine. You guys know the draft will be really big this year. But I'm really excited for what we have in store for you all, for the Cowboys Collective. Also want to tell you guys thank you. We see the numbers growing. Even during the offseason, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
We thank you guys. We've made it a year law. John and Sky, you've been a great addition. And this is one of those ones that I think will happen today. So for Here's Johnny, we have no breaking news and nothing really has happened. So we're going to go over his yearly survey with the Athletic.
Okay.
And John, I'll let you explain.
Yeah, so it depends. It's different times in the off season, but I usually put out a survey that's about 15 to 20 questions, just kind of gauging fans' interests. Usually let the survey go for 3-4 days, so we get about 1,000, maybe a little bit more responses, so you get a real good feel for how the fans feel. And so sometimes we do it right before training camp, sometimes we do it right now because there's just a lot of topics to talk about. So the one I just put out recently, we got 1,300 responses, so it was pretty good return on it. And it was 15 questions, all about kind of the offseason and the current state of the franchise. So I can start rattling them off right now, and if I can run off some questions, and if you guys think we should just keep moving, we can keep moving, or we can just keep it real quick and answer. I can just give you the answers, and we can just keep going from there. And just, we don't need to spend a lot of time on more than just a few of them, but just wanted to give you guys the responses.
Yeah, I'm interested. We can make talking points out of it, John. Just
Yeah.
write them off and let's see what happens.
Yeah, the first one for me, it just starts with obviously their biggest move to this point is the Christian Parker move, and just the grade that you would give it. I don't see why anybody would give it anything a failing grade. So B got the most, over 50% gave it a B, but 33% gave it an A. And so I'd probably give it a B. There's just a little bit unknowns for me to definitively say it was an A, but what about you guys?
I'll go A.
Potential side, I'm giving it a B, and then I got a little wiggle room whether it's going to be a C plus to an A. So I'm right in the middle right now because I got to see it. I'm like Doubting Thomas. I got to see the holes in the hands in order for me to just jump all the way in.
I mean, obviously, this is phrased with the understanding that we don't know, right? So we're just grading the actual, I guess, the process leading up, the actual guy they got, what the guy comes with, and to me, it's an A. Like when you grade how they got where they got to, the thoroughness of how they selected him, and then you dig into who the person is, his background, how he's developed players, who he's coached under, his smarts, his forward thinking, his ability to have a wide vision of the defense, not just, I'm a secondary guy. No, he has an understanding of the front seven. This is an A plus. That does not mean it's going to work out, y'all. It doesn't.
Right.
But it just means that before we can grade, what he did, because we can't, we can only grade who he is, how he got there, and if you want to use a potential word, you can. I'm not going to use it, but just the things that come with Christian Parker, out the park home run to me.
So it was interesting because it's an A or B for most people, but then when the next question was who did you ultimately want, he was actually the fourth name. And what was really interesting about that is out of the 6-7 names I provided, by far the lowest, getting only 2%, was Jonathan Gannon. So very clear that the Cowboys fan base did not want Jonathan Gannon at all. But Parker was behind Brian Flores.
Let me ask you this, John, not to cut you off. The question was the higher, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Then it's an A. Yeah, because for everything Sky said, not how he's gonna do, the higher and how they went about it. A.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I heard the question right.
Yeah. So Flores got 47%. Jim Leonard was next at 18%. Then Jim Schwartz, and then it was Parker after him. So I don't know. And then the other guys I threw out there just as I thought they were common names, where I threw out Raheem Morris, and then I threw in Al Harris just because I know a lot of Cowboys fans really like Al, and he ended up getting more votes than Jonathan Gannon did. So of those names, who did you guys most want?
Well, I can say, the reason why the process is like a B to me, because you didn't reach out to Flores, in my opinion. You didn't reach out to Morris. I don't think that they interviewed those guys. And I'm only looking at.
I'm going to say this with my chest. Raheem Morris is such an overrated candidate. I can't believe that the Cowboys are being docked for not interviewing him. If you want me to explain, I can. But go look at his resume. The Super Bowl victory is not a Raheem Morris special, in my opinion. Outside of that, you can't name me some ridiculous Raheem Morris defense or defense that Raheem Morris developed into this elite unit. So I'm really not understanding the Raheem Morris love to where they get docked for that. I just wanted to say that before we went on.
Yeah. So I get where you're going from coming from on that aspect of it. I was just looking at it that at least bring him in, pick his brain, and see what he can and can't do, far as, because he did lead a team. He was on that defense, like you said. He was coaching that team that won that Super Bowl. But I do agree with his rankings and stuff like that. He'd never been presented as a top 5 or a top 10 defensive coordinator. So, yeah, you are right with that.
For me, the one would have been Jim Leonard. And it's because of a lot of the things that Christian Parker does. And they're young guys, they're smart guys, they're relatable. And the more that I dove into what I think this team needs, they need everything that I've seen about Michael McDonald and now all his players, they trust him because he knows what he's talking about. The rah-rah stuff is great, and you do need that. But like Michael McDonald had trouble. There was a good document, they do the Sports Center thing talks. Right. He had trouble talking in front of a room. Michael McDonald, head coach, for a while.
He admitted it.
Yeah, he admitted it. Yeah. But he's smart, and players trust him that they're going to put him in the right position. So I would say Leonard for me.
I feel like that. I feel like that ranking checks out because let's be completely honest here. None of us knew about Christian Parker unless you were in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Like you just didn't, unless you like if you did, then you are plugged into a very deep aspect of the NFL that most people are not. That doesn't mean that you can't know these assistants, right? Because if you're looking for head coach or if you're looking for, coaches, you can, look around. But prior to us looking at defensive coordinators, you didn't know who Christian Parker was. So I think that actually tracks. But once you started to, okay, who can we look at or who are the candidates? Yeah, I feel like that tracks, man. I feel like everybody wanted Flores, but me personally didn't think it was ever going to happen. So it never was like, I never really got all that upset that they didn't interview him or not. I didn't think that was happening. Jim Leonard felt legit. So Jim Leonard was number one to me. However, once Parker's name got put up in the rankings and they were interviewing him and you start doing backgrounds, it's like, hey, there's a lot to like about him too. Right. So, Parker, Jones, Leonard, those three to me felt realistic. So I would have had those as the 1, 2, 3s with Flores as a pipe dream.
I want to add to that. Yeah. I think that Parker would have got, if it was a versus, I think Parker would have got the job. If we're just talking about the interview process from what I've heard. And by the way, Scott, obviously this is going to be a no-brainer, but Cody actually did mention Christian Parker. And I just like in our first
Cody's
he's different. He's different. He's addicted to defense. But it's so funny, Sky. If you're talking about just like knowing how to talk, I do think that Christian Parker probably would have beat out Jim Leonard. Now, who's going to be better? We don't know.
We kind of talked about that. We said we feel like Parker can win the room. I think that is important because that's what Shotty did. Yeah. So if you can win the room over with Shotty.
Right. And another thing is to echo of what you guys are saying, it's the company that he brings. It's like Surtain and it's Reed Blankenship. It's people speaking highly of Parker. So I haven't heard anybody speaking negative of him. And Vic Fangio himself was like, hey, if I'm coming over here, I got to bring Parker with me. So his resume and the people that's speaking for him is louder than actually himself speaking. So I can't wait to hear him speak. By the way, I just can't wait to see the first press conference to have John Machota to pick his brain on a lot of things,
When you guys talk about the interview process and then even mention the being on the podium for an introductory press conference, things like that. I mean, Nick Sirianni just really ruined that process for me because I'm still stunned that he's having the success that he has. And maybe just he's got a great roster or whatever, but none of that stuff ever makes me think like, oh, I can see why this guy won over the room or whatever. I mean, you go back and watch his opening press conference. It's bad. Transitioning into the Cowboys head coach from this survey was how many more years do you think Brian Schottenheimer will be the head coach? A little over 75% when you combine the two. So over 75% think that he'll be here at least 3 more years. So it'd be 35% said 3 more years, 39% said more than 4 years. So where you guys sit on that one?
Ooh, I got a number, right? I'll say this. Brian Schottenheimer deserves time to build his culture and to build and I'm critical, and that's because I'm an offensive coach. I'm actually really liking him even more because he's tying himself to a young defensive mind, and I respect that. He didn't take the easy road out. So those little things show me true alignment. Scott, you talk about it all the time, and it's like, dang, I forgot about that. They really brought in Kellen and said he's going to run the offense under Mike's. Like, that was just like, like, if you think about that, because I don't know how many people have ever been in any type of room where it's high egos. Bro, I'm just telling you, if coaches ain't seeing it together, you could have real dissension, real issues. So not to be long-winded, but yeah, John, I would say over 4 years. If he the only way it goes south to me is if this thing is like off the rails next year, which I just don't see happening. The offense will be too good.
The offense will be too good, but if the defense is again one of those things where he's got to be in a bunch of the meetings and it's, guys aren't connecting and things like that. If you had that 2 years in a row and this is the guy that you picked, I think that probably wouldn't look great for him. But I really think that this next season has to look like there's improvement.
Right.
It's hard not to improve from what
absolutely. But that doesn't. But this is the greatest league of parity, and so you can't just assume that there will be improvement.
No,
you just never know. It's a wild game. So, but I'm saying, as long as there's improvement, then yeah, I don't see why they would go to another direction. But if they were to take a step back, if they take a step back, the only way that he's going to be okay is if it's because they just get decimated by injuries.
Right. Right.
If I had to guess, I think the reason why he was in the defensive meeting room is because the message was not being delivered in a way that the players were getting it from the teacher. And Shotty is big on teaching, big on delivering the message. And I think he felt and probably saw things that like, hey man, something ain't right here. They're not connecting. Let me see what's going on, or let me lend my ear. I don't think he's gonna have a problem with the communication with Parker. That's not to say there won't be struggles,
right?
But I just have a hard time believing we'll see all-time bad struggles to where he has to go over there. But also, it's not terrible. Like Shanahan, for instance. Shanahan is he's I don't know how to explain it. He's kind of he's obsessed with the very small details of both sides of the ball to the point where you could read articles where he's in the defensive meetings because he wants to be. I don't think Shotty really wants to be over there.
Yeah,
but so it's not always bad. But I think Shotty had to be there because it was, and I don't know if it'll be that way. But
certainly,
I will go with 3 years, not because I think it'll fall off the rails. I think his contract is 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think it's 5.
Okay, so that means 3 years would be 4, which means that 5th year is a lame duck year, and we have to have learned our lesson, right? If he didn't do enough in these next 3 years, and you're going to move on, you don't let him coach in the lame duck year. So either it's one of the two. It's going to be 3 years or it's going to be 4+ because he'll get an extension. So maybe Jason Garrett type stuff, right?
Oh, it's a 4 year. Sorry, my bad. It's 4 years.
Oh, okay. Well, then we got about 2 years to figure it out. Better show some improvement.
I'm gonna tell you this just before you go, Law. If this defense is it's just a game or two better, Dallas can make a run. The offense is that good, and they're only going to get better with another year with Pickens and everything. So that's just me. Looking at these offenses in the playoffs, okay.
Yeah. And the turnaround is going to be such a great thing if Parker can get everything aligned. It's going to have like that Dan Quinn effect to it, right? And Dan Quinn was here, 3 years? So I'm thinking Parker may be here anywhere between 2 to 3 years if things turn around real quickly for the Cowboys. But far as Schottenheimer,
one thing with Quinn though is he also had the benefit of their first pick was Micah Parsons.
Okay. Hey, Caleb Downs may be
I'm about to say. I mean, look, I ain't asking for a Hall of Famer at 12, but damn it, you give me a perennial Pro Bowler.
Shoot,
and then we working with something.
Yeah, and it's right up his wheelhouse. I would say he go a little bit north of what Mike McCarthy got, and a little bit south of what Jason Garrett is or was here, 13 years, 13 seasons. So I think that, Schottenheimer will be here.
10.
Be here about 10. Man, 8 or 9 years.
Well, if we can get
6 or 7, but
if we can get 8 to 10, we have had to have some success, man. I don't think they're going to go 8 to 10 with the Jason Garrett resume.
Facts, but you think Jerry Jones? I hate to say this, but you think Father Time visit Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones will forget who the head coach is by the time we get to 8 to 10.
Yeah, he'll be 93.
Yeah, he'll be 93.
He's gonna be like, Marty, is that you?
Jimmy?
Hey, who closed the blinds? Jerry, the curtain's gonna finally get closed in Texas Stadium or AT&T Stadium. Oh, John, what's the name of the stadium this year? What's it gonna be called?
Isn't it still AT&T? Why would they
say what? Did they sell the naming rights?
I thought they're gonna have to get rid of the name for the stadium for 2026 for the FIFA thing, whatever the soccer thing they got going.
Oh, I think they just won't announce it, or they won't call it that during broadcasts or something. But I don't think there's any way. They're just paying them too much money.
Call it Jerry World.
Yeah.
The World Cups. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they have like semifinal games there. Yeah.
You talking about a packed stadium.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about traffic. I feel for y'all. Traffic's about to be stupid.
Next one is, what's the Cowboys' biggest offseason position of need?
Ooh, this is gonna be fun.
And so I listed cornerback, edge rusher, linebacker, safety, and then offensive line.
Before you go, John. Can me, not to cut you off, I hate saying that.
No, go.
Can we all make a bid on which one? Can we bet real quick on which one?
Oh, the fans did?
Yeah, which one the fans chose?
Okay. What were the options, John?
What?
Edge rusher, linebacker, cornerback, safety, offensive line.
God.
I'm going to guess the fans said corner.
Dang it, Sky, you took mine.
I'm going to guess.
We can all agree.
Yeah, I'm going to go corner.
I'm going to guess linebacker.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, Lord. That's a good one.
Probably.
Hey, good answer. Good answer.
All three of those are pretty close. Edge rusher, corner, and linebacker, but it was corner. Just beat out edge rusher by a little bit.
Okay.
So offensive line wasn't even in the conversation. I mean, it was 0.7%. So just remember that when they take an offensive lineman with one of these first round picks. No, God, I'm just kidding. But
don't do it.
I would say the only reason linebacker probably isn't in the top two is just because of the value of the position. I think that most fans are up to date on the whole. Yeah. You just see the way teams spend their money, whether it be on free agents, on the players that are on their own team, or what they put an emphasis on in the draft. And that's clearly corner and edge rusher. And so it was real close between those two. And I can't argue with either one of them.
I think that the last time we drafted a linebacker in the first round, they both went all pro, I believe, or something like that. Got good numbers.
I'll say this. When you watch the Super Bowl, you saw two corners that could have been MVPs, in Devin Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez.
True that. Oh, all right.
I'm not going to argue with anybody if they say any of those things except linemen.
Offensive
I won't fight you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I? We desperately need every single last one of those positions.
I agree.
And the Cowboys better not be foolish not to entertain anything at running back. They better get something done in free agency and beyond. But that's a whole nother segment.
I'm just saying, I ain't gonna be mad if they take you know who.
Oh, okay. Hey.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna be upset if they show a little love. That's all I'm saying.
Don't spoil me with a good time.
Which will be yell at the clouds for getting a guy that never mind. That's a different discussion.
Why would you get Marshall Faulk on this team?
Just different discussion. Let's go. So
that makes me. I'm just because you said that, I'm gonna skip down.
What's comp, right? I love it.
If you could only re-sign one of these two, who would it be? So you got to pick one. Javonte Williams or J. Devin Clowney.
Williams.
Give me Williams, man.
With all due respect to guys, he's 34. He was okay last year and good in a handful of games. Like he's a mercenary. Mm-hmm. I can go sign another mercenary. Like I think we have what's it called? Where we're all thinking about what just happened. I forget the term. But recency bias. I think there's a recency bias here. We do realize, okay, he was a part of one of the worst defenses in the National Football League history. We do realize that. Javonte Williams brought a certain aspect to this team that the Cowboys had missed the last few years. Not saying, he's more valuable than a player better than him, but you can't tell me Sanders would have been better for this offense than a Javonte Williams, or hell, I'll go further. Tony Pollard. He was more valuable than Tony Pollard was over the last few years in this offense. So I think it's not even close as Javonte Williams. Because come on, guys, and dude's 34, 35 years old, man. He's a mercenary.
But just make sure
I pick Clowney.
I
pick Clowney, and the reason why is because of how bad they are at defensive end. And I also think that with the offense they have, I think you can find another Javonte Williams this year in free agency or via trade. I do think it's close. Don't get me wrong, but I don't trust that they are going to find the edge rushers that they need that can make an immediate impact. And then the other part of it, when you talk about him last year on that awful defense, I just remember him multiple times talking about how, hey, I'm just going out there doing my job, whatever. He clearly knew that they didn't know what they were doing on that defense, and he went out and balled out. So he was one of the very few bright spots on that trash defense. So that all factored in with me. But yes, the 34, he's had a knee condition that there's a reason why. You can just see the history with him, that there's no one willing to give him a long-term deal. So there's plenty of reasons against it. I think for me, the reason why it's also closer is I do think that Javonte Williams' season could ratchet up his price, whereas I don't think Clowney's price is going anywhere up. I am not getting in a bidding war for Javonte Williams.
Oh, I'm not doing it for either one of them.
Yeah.
My only
you
thing
wouldn't have to for Clowney.
My only thing is with the running back thing that scares me a little bit is that the Cowboys can sometimes get too smart for themselves. Like, for example.
Well, real quick on that, there's only one running back out there, and you have two dope receivers with, a top 10 quarterback and a very money spent on offense wise. I don't even know who their defensive ends are going to be. Is Ezaraku going to have a breakout 10-sack season? Are they going to hit on a D end at 12 or 20? Who are they getting to, where it's a position that you're going to need, you need at least 3-4 guys to rush the passer. And I look at that roster right now. It's because by the way, I love Christian Gonzalez. I love everything you guys were talking about right there. Not even close for me. I want the pass rushers. If I have to pick between the two, I'm saying if they're both equal, you know what I'm saying? I love the great corners. I love all that. It's great. I'm very pro pass rush first, secondary second. Mm-hmm. And to me, so when I look at their roster, I'm just like, this pass rush, I understand that they can create a lot with the tackles, but the edge rushers, it went from being a position of depth 9 months ago, to being where it's I don't even know what they have here right now.
But you're operating under the assumption they will not be able to get another Javian Clowney. You're saying they can get another Javonte Williams.
Oh no, I think they need 2 Clowneys, to be honest with you. They need multiple.
Then that's
veterans
fine.
But
they'll need a running back too. Then if they don't bring back Javonte.
Oh yeah, but running backs you can get. They're not that. I mean, what did Javonte Williams cost them?
Clowneys you can get. This isn't 2008. He's a 34-year-old rotational defensive end that should not be a starter. He's I don't mean that he's going to be a guy that you put out there. He's I'm saying he's part of your rotation. A backup defensive end over a starting Pro Bowls type running back in this offense. Not saying that again. We're just talking these two guys. Right. We're not talking Javonte versus Jeremiah Love.
If you put Jadeveon Clowney's season on a good team, he's making the Pro Bowl this year.
No way. 6 sacks is getting him in the Pro. Maybe this week.
What would he do on a team that had other good defenders?
He'd be a backup dude, just like he was in what Baltimore, and had 9 sacks and didn't go to the Pro Bowl.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's tough to even talk about that right now. Nine. I mean, if you watch that Pro Bowl, 9 sacks is getting you in that Pro Bowl. We got Shedeur Sanders out there, so let's not act like that. It takes a lot to get the Pro Bowl.
We're talking about a backup defensive. He should not be a starter. He's a backup rotational guy that should play roughly 50% of the snaps, come in and spell a young guy or a Max Crosby type, where this guy's a starter that it was a kind of an engine for your offense in regards to the ground. Not even kind of, was the engine for your offense in the ground game, that at times it wasn't his fault the ground game sputtered. It was the either play calling, decision making, or offense line getting owned. So that's why I would pick him.
So I kind of got to lean towards Sky.
I can move on without either, to be honest with you.
I'm not fighting for either one.
I cover a team that bargain shops. I'm trying to be realistic here.
But the thing is, John, if we're talking this team, I don't want to make Javonte is a plus. I think that the thing with Clowney is I think he was good because the defense was so bad. And it's that's not to say that I wouldn't want Clowney back, but you said it yourself, John. You're not getting into a bidding war with
either one.
Here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at with Javonte.
Set your price and then stay with it and stick with it.
Here's where I'm at with Javonte, guys. Me personally, I want that guy back. He brings toughness. He is a great blocker, and his team loves him. He's a team first guy.
Very smart too.
The team loves him.
That was going to be my point too about what you're about to say. Go ahead.
Well, you know what I mean, Law. Think about it. Javonte was so reliable that they wore him down. They ran him into the ground. And if you really think about it, towards the end of the year, he lost juice because they didn't trust anybody else. Shotty's like, man, Jaden Blue, is he gonna get that killed? I can't have him out there. Javonte was throwing his body around. So this is a good one, but
no, I'm fine with whatever everybody wants. I can't wait to see what the edge rushers are on this team in a few months. I just can't wait to see what they are.
That's why when we get to your mock, I'm not mad at your mock. I'm not mad at your mock at all.
Why? He might be a project too.
Yeah, but he's better than what you got on this team, and that's why I'm trying to be Cowboys fans.
Very, very low bar. Of course.
Before we go any further on this, I just want to say the reason why I'm hesitant with the running back thing is because 2014 we had identity with physicality and toughness, and then they said, "Hey, we got Joseph Randle," who said they left a lot of meat on the bone, and they thought that behind this offensive line that you can do the same thing with Joseph Randle, and that wasn't the case or the scenario.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't go in that direction, but also 14.
Yeah,
Terrence Williams is fine. He's not anywhere close to what they have right now at the number 2 receiver spot. So you're going to make a lot of things look great with those receivers out there.
Also, Joseph Randle, he actually showed a lot on film. He was actually a quality backup. You know, he had like 5 touchdowns, I think, that year. He had a couple big runs. He was solid. We haven't seen enough from Blue to be able to just blindly say
that's the one that hurts.
We're going to roll with Blue.
Yeah, we're going to roll with you.
You can't do that. So, I mean, I hope like hell they don't just. And there's no offense to Blue. I like Blue, but he is not a number one. Like we knew that coming in.
No. I'm not fighting you, Sky. We on the same team here. It's an offense to Blue. Blue is not stopping me from drafting him back. He's not in my plan. And I'm not saying he's in your plans, Sky. But it's just one of those things. It's like Dallas. I've been doing this thing, and I was going to talk to you, Sky, offline. I talk to all of y'all. How do we get to this point, John, where we could cover our warts and our blind spots in the draft? You know what happened, and I messed up too. I saw Blue's playmaking ability, but the football player. I missed. I had some blind spots there. I did in my evaluation of him, and it showed as far as maybe what we don't see behind the scenes. The physicality. There was times he wasn't as physical as I want him to be, and that's what Javonte brings. That's what a Kyle Monangai brought for his team. You know, so it's not all about the home runs. It's about a guy who's a good freaking football player.
I can't wait to the draft though for a running back. If Javonte Williams gets more money from somebody else, I have to spend some money on a running back. I can't. My draft needs to be spent on defense. I don't even have a 2nd or 3rd round pick. I can't even think about spending a 4th or a 5th on another potential Jaden Blue. I can't risk that. Now you can do that, but that can be your number 2 option type guy. If I don't re-sign Javonte Williams, I need to go and sign another veteran back who I think can be this year's Javonte Williams.
100%. And John,
be a nice pick.
And John, this is what I wanted to echo with your thoughts too on this though. If the Cowboys don't re-sign Jadeveon Clowney and they go into this draft and they say, okay, I want Keldrick Falk, I'm moving furniture around because they say, okay, we need to get this replacement and all of this stuff, and they can out-analyze and talk themselves and getting Keldrick Falk. I just don't think that the Cowboys should do something like that. I think that they should. I would rather have Old Man River, Jadeveon Clowney here at 34, 35, however he is, versus Keldrick Falk. I'm just saying.
No, I get what you're saying. And
probably have both.
Yeah, no. And also I will just say on this whole topic, the reason that I put it in here, I mean, Javonte Williams got 60% of the vote. Clowney got 40 because I knew that people wouldn't be 100% one way or the other. With all of that being said, there's a very good chance they bring back both. It's not like it is a one or the other. Right. I just put it in there as a question because I do think that there would be people because, again, Jadeveon Clowney a year ago, when you look like, hey, you know, DN looks like a strength in this team. You got some guys. You just drafted Ezraku. Like you got, you know, let's be honest. I thought we would eventually see a little bit from Sam Williams. You had Marshawn Nealon. Like there were some stuff there. They signed Fowler. Like you weren't nearly as bad as you needed to be. And then you move on from Micah. And then you just look at where that room's at now, and it's been decimated. There's just not much there. I had to go back to the draft real quick. What do you want to do with their first 2 picks? Either you draft the 2 best defensive players, just draft the best 2 players, regardless of position, draft with 1 pick and trade back with 1 pick, or trade back with both picks.
I see. I'll start because I've been already formulating this, and then I'll let you guys go. I'm not drafting away. I'm not trading away from great players on my board. What I mean by that is, if you've handled, and this is a Sky thing, if you buy groceries in free agency, I can draft a running back at 12 if I believe he's special. If I've done the work on him, I can draft a running back at 12. If I go get a Jamel Dean or a Devin Bush, whoever in free agency, I can draft a running back at 12. Yes, I can. You can do it. You're right. He's a special player. You're going to make your offense a superpower. Right. I'm not. So I would still draft the best player available, because I think that if you get into this reaching, now their best player available may be a corner, John. I'm just saying, depending on their board, even though the defense was very bad, because that could have been a mix of coaching, it could have been a mix of the wrong free agents, could have been a mix of a bad draft or whatever the case draft is. You need to draft the best player available. You do. You do not, as bad as the defense is, you make that mistake and you reach on a guy, you could be stuck.
Right. And I'm trading
if you're taking a Delaney or Mansour over Love, I don't think you're reaching.
Not absolutely not. No.
Right. No, I go by this philosophy, man. If you got, like, say, 3 players tags that's touching, then you can move back. But as long as you can still within the confines of the parameters of getting those 3 players that your tags are touching, you never want to do what the Giants did a couple of years back when they passed up on a Smitty and a Michael Parsons. They traded back and they ended up getting a Kadarius Toney. You know,
right, that's a fact.
I do not want to do that, even though they was in a good spot and they out-analyzed themselves, try to get multiple picks in the second and third. Just pick the pick that you trust your eyes with. I think there's a episode out there, Trust the Tape. Trust the tape. Trust your eyes, man.
I'm taking 12. I'm not trading out of 12. Not happening. I just don't think it's deep enough first round to do that. So make the pick at 12. The only offensive player I'm even considering is Love. So it's basically I'm taking the best defensive player there, unless there's a legitimate Love option. And then I'm trading back 20. I'm trying to get a day 2 pick so I can participate in day 2. And maybe if I can finesse somebody, I can get a 2027 pick as well. I don't know. Depends how far somebody jumps. So take the pick at 12 for me, trade 20. And that's just off of your scenario. It's not what I really want to do, but that's just based off your scenario.
Yeah, I just think that it's interesting, though, when people talk about Caleb Downs or, Jeremiah Love or Reuben Bain or Sonny Styles and all this stuff. Like, yeah, those names sound great. You pick at 12.
Right.
This isn't that good of a draft. Why do you think that you're guaranteed any of those guys will be there? Like, people, when they say that, I'm like, do you ever look at a mock? Like, this isn't that good of a draft. All those, I did a mock recently. All those dudes were all going by 7. It wasn't even in a neighborhood of let's trade up. So the idea that, like, I don't like your mock because because it's probably realistic. Like, I mean, Caleb Downs, I get it. In a loaded, like, 2014 draft class, yeah, maybe he does fall to you at 12. Like, this is not a good draft. There's no quarterbacks outside of the guy that's going to go 1. Like, who are these teams going up to trade for? That's why, honestly, Jeremiah Love, I'll be surprised if he's even there at 12 because of this.
What we need in the city.
What we need is like a Zach Wilson type of quarterback in the combine to throw like crazy. Like, some quarterback need to throw crazy, and people always overdraft at quarterbacks. And that's what I hope, man. That's the only thing that and there's no other quarterback in this damn draft. It's crazy, man.
What you really need is
the Alabama kid.
You need the offensive lineman.
Maybe he runs a 4-3 something. You maybe
because in the mock that I did, those offensive tackles were still on the board. And that's scary for 2 reasons. 1, it doesn't push good defensive players to you. And 2, that'll get them coming out there saying, this guy was number 5 on our board. And then they draft the dude. And then now Terrence Steele's out of the lineup. And you're just sitting there going, all right, now what are we doing on defense? So you don't want to be in that neighborhood either.
You just need a couple of general managers to fall in love with guys, man. That aren't consensus, because it's happened. The Raiders have done it multiple times, taking Clinton Farrell, whatever his name is. We've seen Farrell. We've seen him do a few different times, Ruggs, things like that. You're going to need at least 3 of those to happen, I believe. At least to get one of those players. At the very at least 3 would be perfect.
Sky, who was the last name you just said? Who was the last name you just said? You said
Farrell.
Who was the last name you just said?
I don't know.
After that, you said Ruggs.
Yeah.
Ruggs. There you go. Yeah. How you get? I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. The receivers. You need Malachi Lemon. Okay. You need Carnell Tate. And you need Jordan Tyson to have phenomenal.
Is that going to be enough to jump in the top 10? Though?
Yes.
Let somebody run
the offensive tackles are more realistic because teams do fall in love with offensive tackles, and not everybody's board at offensive tackles the same. There's a lot of traits thing. There's a lot of, we think he projects better. We need more of a left than a right. I just think it's more likely the offensive tackles are the ones where like you need the Miami kid, what was the other, the Spencer, Fano is it? Yeah, you need those guys gone. You have to have them.
And then even the Arizona State kid, he's getting a lot of buzz. The reason why I say the receivers, historically, if you look at receivers, okay, at least 2 go in the top 10. That's at the least. Last year,
yeah, but those are probably consensus guys. Is there a consensus top 15 guy?
Tate is consensus top 15.
Yeah, Cornelius.
Yeah, Tate was really only the guy like that last year. He was the only one at this point.
People were talking Ibuka and Golden and sneaking in that top 15.
Yeah, I don't know about top 10 though. Like I remember like people would say Luther Burden, but I mean, top 10, Tat was like the only one.
Right, but the reason I'm saying that is because then you can get somebody to fall in love with a guy that's a consensus top 15 type of prospect to take at 9, 10, 11 in front of you. Like, is it that many guys to do that?
I think
Jordan Tyson, where you at with him?
Tyson, if he's healthy, that's what I'm saying. When you look at him, because he also, funny story about him, he was at Colorado. Mm-hmm. He didn't do much there, goes to Arizona State and goes crazy. And then went back to Dion and apologized. So he had some good character with him. Like, you need these guys to have great combines. And we know when there's no football on, all these nerds, including myself, sitting around, 4-4, Malachi, you know what I mean?
Combine will do that too.
You know what I mean? It happens. And we got to think, we do this thing where it's like we look from the Cowboys lens. Everybody doesn't look at defense how we are, because we like, if you Kansas City, I've seen people talking about them drafting. They're not drafting a safety. They would take Sadiq. They would take the Oregon tight end before they took a safety. Everybody doesn't have those same beliefs. You know that, John. Like everybody, we're looking at it from our Cowboys lens. How can we get this defender Bain? There's teams right now who look at Bain as a 3-tech. There are teams who don't even look at Bain as a defensive end, and that's a fact.
And they fall at 5 to 12.
No, he's not falling to 12. No, Sky. No, he's not going to fall to 12. But you know, the different beliefs in different buildings.
So how are we getting 2 or 3 receivers in that top? I don't know how that happens.
I think you can get Lemon.
That's
trust
one.
me still. And I think you can get Tate. You can get Sky, you're getting an Ohio State receiver in the top 10, bro.
And what about the O-line? What the O-line? For New and who else?
See, the O line is tricky because like
Francis
Maui Yoga. It's tricky, but he'll go. He's too clean. And honestly, what he did to Howell scares me about Cassius Howell, because Howell is the play strength scares me, and Maui Yoga was beating him up. He's strong.
Well, you're gonna need one of those general managers to absolutely fall. I mean, madly in love. If you believe it's the receivers, I need to jump in. You're gonna need that, because the top 10, 2 or 3 receivers in the top 10 going into a draft where consensus say they are no top 10 receivers. That's tough. That is tough.
I think. What about that Denzel Boston kid?
He won't be the name. He won't be the name.
What if he do crazy stuff at the combine? Because he's like 6'10" almost. You know.
He's a nice looking athlete, but I just the two that I was
we talking all this receiver shit. Cowboys mess around, tag and trade Pickens. We going to be the ones.
I knew that was coming.
I can't even see a world.
Can you imagine?
I'm just teasing.
I can't imagine that either. If he would have just been okay last season, maybe. There's just no way that they're going to do that.
Hell,
I can hear the Cowboys talking about that too. Hey, we got CD Lamb because no one thought that he would be there. We needed an edge rusher at the time.
If they trade him, this is going to be called the Cowboys Collect, because the if part's gone. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I can't see that. That doesn't make any sense of where they're at. For them to tag and trade him, I think this team would had to have been just another season where Dak dealt with a bunch of injuries, and you're starting to think, all right, is it time to go young at the quarterback position? But as long as you have a healthy $60 million quarterback, I don't see why they would. And again, just going off Jerry's track record and his love for wide receivers, I just don't see a way that his worst situation that can come of this is them dragging it out. And obviously Pickens is annoyed that he has to play under the tag. Jerry says some stuff on the radio. Pickens says some stuff back. Ultimately, he's playing, but That's the ugliest it gets. I just do not see a world where they tag
The
it.
Cowboys don't trade players off of football building thought process. They trade players like that from emotion. So
Not to mention to trade him after how he played last season. I don't understand. Like they would have to for it to impress Jerry. It would probably have to be for a 1, and nobody's giving up a first-round pick and then having to pay the dude.
No.
Yeah.
It would have to get personal somehow, some way.
Yeah,
Like it would have to get bad in that way. That's all I say.
but I mean, really bad, because I hate when people
Really
even
bad.
bring up, they're like, "Oh, well, look what just happened with Micah." Cool, and I got 10 other guys that it got ugly with too, and they all signed with the Cowboys. You know, like
Facts,
you don't think it got ugly with Zeke? You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff always happens.
Yeah.
You didn't think it didn't with Dak both times, but it's just like because this happened with Micah, now people are a little bit more panicked. But it also doesn't help when there's national reporters saying stuff. The Cowboys have shown that because it happened one time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but when I get out the dry erase board and I go 1, and then on the other side I go wrong. 52, I don't sit there and go, "Oh, let's worry about that 1."
Yeah, Ian, that was irresponsible for him to say that. A quick research will show that we don't do that.
Not to mention, he'll never admit this, just like he'll never admit that he probably should put up shades during afternoon games at AT&T Stadium. There's probably a part of Jerry that wishes it did still work out with Micah and he didn't trade him. You know, I mean, especially being here in Dallas, seeing the way it unfolded with Luka, obviously that was a disaster. And looking back, most people that are tight with that organization know it's a mistake now. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Jerry could go back and do it again. He wouldn't even do that move. Now, he'll never say that, and he's going to sell for the next 5 to however long he lives. He'll talk about how this was the plan all along, and it was not the plan all along. But anyway, who is the Cowboys' most overrated player to you guys?
This was the big one. Wasn't this the big question?
That's tough.
The viral one?
We'll cap it here.
Damn.
That's
the most
it has to be on offense, right? Because the defense was just so bad. How can defense was bad?
I'm gonna say Kevontae Turpin.
So last year, Dak got most overrated and most underrated.
That makes sense.
They don't want any.
Dak is going to Dak probably wins it again this year, just because you know how polarizing he is. Fans hate him, but it's definitely not Dak. Can we do offense, defense, or just one person?
You didn't list names at all. You just said.
So I said write him in, and that included 20 people writing in Jerry Jones's name.
Oh, did people write in McClay? I feel like people might have wrote in McClay.
McClay, yeah.
I think
that I would
maybe one, but nothing that I really remember. There could have been maybe one, because there is
Turpin's
usually a random like
one.
Steven, whatever. I did not expect 20 Jerry Jones votes for most overrated player, but
did Ferguson get any? Because I know people were a little.
He's in the top 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ferguson makes sense. Just trying to think how the fans.
You said Turpin?
I would go with Ferguson.
Turpin's in the top 5.
Yeah, you have all of those targets, man,
Top
but only
5.
600
Damn, who the fuck is
yards.
number 1? Is Dak
CeeDee
number 1
Lamb is in the top 5.
No. All right. Then wrap this up. Let's
Wrap
go
it
ahead.
up, John. Let's go to your mock draft.
74 votes for CeeDee Lamb.
What?
So it's number 1 Dak. Can we is Dak?
He's second. Deron Bland, by 100 votes, Deron Bland was number 1.
Wow. Okay, so that's
blew away the
that's
competition.
actually a good one. The rest, some of these other ones is ridiculous.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Real quick, I'll just say most underrated was Dak, followed by Ryan Flanoy. I thought that was a good one.
That's a good one.
Cooper Beebe, Javonte Williams, Tyler Smith, Jake Ferguson, and then Overshown.
Yeah. I got to stop talking bad about Jake Ferguson. I didn't know that's Dak Prescott's best friend on the team.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
What's that got to do with you keep it in the bean? If you think he bad, I don't think so. I think Jake Ferguson's a good player, but he just, has some fun.
What's going on with his yaks, man? Yards after catch, man. I think Jason Witten did a better job than him.
I think that's easy to explain, man. It's easy to explain. It's clearly not asking him to go downfield. They're clearly asking him to do 3 yards, cloud of dust, all flats. It's easy. Go watch 23.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch 24, 25. It's so easy. But that takes actual work to go see it. It's easier to say he just sucks right now. Which I'm not going to fight nobody on that.
Yeah.
For him to be what he needs to be, he's got to be the guy that catches those contested seam balls. He has to.
Yep. That's his game. I don't think they really attacked it that much this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
Hey,
for whatever reason, they stopped.
What would you do right now for David Njoku in his offense?
I mean,
we need him, bro. Like,
I was kind of a wash. I mean,
work, bro.
He terrible now.
And he's not terrible. He just doesn't play in line. I mean, I don't know. I gotta watch him more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a reason why Cleveland wants to move on and not gonna pay him. So we'll see. I mean, I've seen that floating around a little bit, Law. But
now Kyle Pitts is a slam dunk for me though. But I'm just saying, if you can't have one or the other,
I think Brad could be fine.
Yeah,
I was like, what do I need to get another tight end for if I got Brad?
Let's do the read, guys, and then we'll get to John's mock draft. Can't wait to talk about it for this last 10 minutes.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Call your shot on Sleeper. Sleeper. Use code HMA Cowboys Collective. Thank you for sponsoring this channel. All right, as I pull this up, I just want to say we aren't going to attack John's work. What we're going to do is make it make sense.
This is
I'll
my
attack
draft?
away.
Yeah.
oh please, you got
Take
Keldrick
away.
Falk? You drafted Keldrick Falk?
I'm gonna read it. Hold on.
I'm an observer on this one.
I'm gonna read his mock.
I read.
So
No. Before you read his mock, did he do all teams or just the Cowboys?
Just the Cowboys.
Just Cowboys.
Okay. He just went 12. He just went 12 and 20.
I'll tell you who the picks were there, though.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us the pick.
Well, let me set this thing up. So in round 1, he went with LSU corner Mansour Delane. Now, here's I'm gonna give you a brief overview to make the possible best decision. This is his overview. We went and spoke with
John is right there. He could just tell you, but what?
I mean, I wanted to read this. Y'all go read his article. And long story short, he talked to Dane.
John said
he talked to Dane. It's no secret the Cowboys need defensive help in all areas except for defensive tackle. They lost Diggs, and I'm paraphrasing. Bland is still part of the plan, and as is rookie Savon Ravel, but this will be a great addition to Christian Parker's defense. Mansour Delane, chat, how we feeling? Sky, how we feeling? Law, how we feeling?
Well,
Love
first and foremost, man, I think that the kid it's hard to evaluate his tape when in 5 games he only had like 4 targets his way. But I look at it like here he don't have long speed. I think that on the next level you put him inside the nickel with 2-way goals. I think that he can build up to that point. I think that he's a very cerebral guy. If you look at his VT tape, it's a whole lot is even as good as his LSU tape. So I think that he'll fit right on in, especially being woven in with Christian Parker. It's a slam dunk. I would like for him to be here with the silver and blue and the star on the side of the helmet because he got a little thing, what we call swag. And I like that about him.
So Mendoza obviously went 1. Arvo Reese, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, Reuben Bain, Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Sonny Styles, the Francis Magawa kid from Miami, and then Jermad McCoy. Those are the 11 picks right before. And to be honest with you, that works out great for them because I don't think any of us have time for another corner coming off of a major injury where he didn't even play last year. While that's fine for most teams, I don't know how many people really want to be dealing with that all over again. The other thing I'll say about corner is that they don't really have the size that a Christian Gonzalez has, that like a Patrick Surtain has. So That's the other thing that makes it where I could really see any of these corners being there at 12. Like there isn't a guy there that you're like, oh, this guy could go 5. I just don't see those corners being on that level.
Now, Foots, do you think that like in the combine, he may measure out a little bit shorter and then he may not run a good 40 time?
Mansour?
Yeah.
No, he's going to run fast. He's going to be 5'11", though. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that now. So,
be sure.
Yeah, you got to be.
And he probably isn't going to have the 32-inch arms that they want either.
No, you're right, John. And that's going to be.
Parker said that. So Parker said he don't care about that. So we're going to see if he wins out over McClay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Scott, remember I was asking you, what did you feel about that? Because it's real. Like Mansour is not going to be a typical.
I don't care about that. Can he play?
Yes, he can. He's really. Law hit him on the head. Great in off man, great in zone, great in man. If you like Bland and Savon Ravel on the outside, stick him in a nickel. He'll come up. He'll tackle everything. He's smart. He's fine. Like he is that and for a while it was like people were like, oh man, this is what is a consolation pick? That's not the case at all. This is a slam dunk. He's gonna be your start because eventually he'll be your outside starting corner. And
eventually,
I was just about to say, so does it change your mind if we're talking about him being a nickel? I just don't see no, I hate to use value because if you could play, you could play, but man, taking a nickel at 12?
Well, so
or are we saying this is how does he become a boundary guy if you are keeping Duran? I would put Duran in, but Duran's getting paid like an outside corner.
Exactly.
$92 million. They're gonna have to make that work. You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him, but that's another discussion. Yeah.
So if you that's fair. I would day one stick him on the outside and make Bland play in the nickel. Just because
$90 million nickels.
I know, but he has better. The thing that he does better than Bland is he finds the ball better on the edge. He just has better technique. Bland was good when he was jumping passes, and John, you had that pass rush, but that's gone. So now you got to cover the whole route, and he's just better in that aspect. Anybody
that didn't hear me earlier, I'll just sum it up real quick. Yes, all the players that you wanted were gone. That's why I took them.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, if Caleb Downs is there,
yeah,
I obviously would have taken him. Like he was gone. He went in the top 5, guys. Believe me.
Hey, John, don't you hate
him in a position where it was a trade up? I would have went. Like,
hey, John, don't you hate him like you, John? You don't know what you're doing. You could have picked.
Well, why I'm going off about it, and also say this. I also laugh at people in the comments of the story I'm going off of Dane's big board.
Okay,
who's your big board? I talked to this guy. I know his process. He talks to teams. Like, who are you talking to? How is your big board any better than his? He does this 365. Stop with any of this. Oh, I watched tape of him or whatever. This guy, this is his job. He can work for NFL teams. He's the best guy in the space. I'll put him up against anybody. So I'm going to use his big board. Thanks for playing.
Put him up against me. I want to box with that. I'm just playing. You know what? No, but in all seriousness, I'm going to tell you something else. With your second pick, people are really going to be chatty in the chat, but I don't care. Round 1, pick 20. John Machado. Look at John bracing for it. He's bracing. I
got the 15th guy on the board.
And you know what? That's what I was about to say.
I stick to my board. Sorry.
There you go. He went with Keldrick Falk. Now, I'm gonna explain this away. I'm not even gonna.
As long as it wasn't at the 12th spot, man.
I'll explain it real quick here. What kind of perfect DN you think's fallen to 20? If you're gonna find something wrong with every DN that's at 20, you'll find something wrong with them. There's no good DNs that fall to 20. There's always going to be something that you can criticize.
Who was there on the board? Now, if you break it down first, though.
So you picked Falk?
Yeah. Who's on the board?
Do y'all want me to break it down? Or you want to?
Yeah, no, go ahead. You can do
it. Here's my because I fought people on Twitter with this. I said last show, I'm like, at 12, probably not, because he doesn't have the day one ready-made juice on the edge. Cool. But what he does have is
measurable.
Thank you, sir. My son just brought me an apple pie. Okay, lay down.
Oh, what mine, man? Come on, man.
Uncle Law said, "Did you bring him one?" But what he does have is at not even the measurables, Law. His football character is through the roof. Now that's not nothing that skill set wise, but he has NFL strength. He has an NFL body. Okay, at Auburn they played a 3-3 stack. So all my defensive guys out there, it's 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and a bunch of DBs. In that, they asked him to 2-gap a lot. His 2024 tape was way better than 2025. I'll admit the sack production was not there in 2025. It was there in 2024. I always am leery, and I say, let these guys get NFL coaching. He's a great kid. He's NFL strength ready. Because I'm going to tell you right now, some of these DNs that I see us getting mocked, I'll throw a name out there, Cassius Howe.
He was there.
He's not strong enough, though. And that's why Dane has Falk higher. He's not strong enough. So I wouldn't be doing a backflip, but I wouldn't hate it either, especially in this scheme, because in this scheme, he'd be a great fit. So
Mesidor was there too.
Oh, but you know what? When I was looking at his tape foots, and I could be way off. I know you probably looked at more tape of it.
No, so, but he
reminded me of Nealon, though, to a degree.
A better version. He's better than
Marshawn. You said something right there, Foots.
For us,
where I think his value to the Cowboys could be higher than maybe others or fans is the scheme aspect. Now I know we have 3 defensive tackles, and if they keep all 3, they're likely going to be your 3 down linemen when they do an odd front in that way. But I'd reckon that Falk probably gives you a little bit more as a true 5 tech. You know, he has that size as a 5. Yes, he may not be the juice rusher, but that's why if you do run this odd front, you got a stand-up guy behind him or next to him, whatever you want to call it, or even if they go 4-man front, he can slide and do some 3 tech stuff or play that power 5. So ideally, no, but the scheme aspect, it actually makes sense.
Sky, can you explain a 5 tech to people? Because this is going to take a lot of people are going to have to get used to. Dallas is going to be running a penny front, y'all. Right. Whereas 5-1, they're going to be running a 3-4. There's going to be 5 people down around the line at all times. So can you explain what that means to people?
Traditionally, the 5 techs coming out back in the 90s, early 2000s were right around Falk's size, 6'5", 6'6", 300, 305. Now Falk probably going to measure 6'6", 290-ish, somewhere around there. 285. That's probably that's probably going to be more of a general side tech now. But their responsibility, low key, is to just keep guys clean behind them. They're not really guys that are going to get upfield and rush the passer. They're playing the run. They're trying to take on the tackles, either shading just inside sometimes or just outside or head up, just so that outside linebacker can be more free. Or depending on how the defensive coordinator wants to adjust it, they'll twist them or they'll line them inside. Back in the day, think about when we had DeMarcus Lawrence, or DeMarcus Ware. If you guys remember where DeMarcus Ware was at, he was usually always stood up wide of the tackle, and he had a guy like Hatcher, right next to him, who was trying to take up that tackle to get a one-on-one or take up that guard to get a one-on-one with the tackle. So it's not going to be a traditional guy that we used to seeing under the 4-3.
Right. And just to echo that, Scott, just to comparison, Ezra Rocco is 6'2", 245, y'all.
He's a baby.
He's 100% standing up in this scheme.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
So size matter. You're going to need, somebody like
exactly.
Falk is 20 years old and he's 280. NFL body ready to go. And like you said, was Law, you're right. He plays like Nealon. He's just better. He's a better player than Marshawn. Rest in peace, Marshawn Nealon.
R.I.P.
He's better. He chases the ball better. The pass rush stuff, it does leave to be desired. Like I've seen people saying, why not go Mesidor? The reason why you go a guy like Falk is because that upside, if you hit on that, you talk about looking smart with Parker. Oh, you're cooking.
Can I ask you? This is draft stuff, but how many front outside linebacker stand up rushers are there early in this draft for you, Foots?
See, that's where it's
say early. I mean 20. Let's say 20, not 12. Like 20.
I'd probably say R. Mason Thomas and Howe, right? Like I don't want Howe would have to come in and be my OLB. I don't know if you saw me we were in our chat with Voch. I was like, I like Howe at outside linebacker. He's not strong enough, Scott, to play the 5.
So then my rebuttal to that would be, I think I would value the stand-up rusher over the 5 tech.
That's cool.
Unless I'm getting, and I don't even know where Cam Hayward went, but like, remember Cam Hayward? Like Cam Hayward is a traditional 5 in that Steelers 3-4. But for the most part, you can get a bunch of Brett Kiesels to like, that's not a knock on Brett. Brett was such a rock in Pittsburgh, a rock at that position. And there's many of those types. But give me the James Harrison. Give me the TJ Watt. Give me the DeMarcus Ware. Give me the Terrell Suggs. Like if I have an outside linebacker stand up edge rusher available at 20, I would value that more than the 5 tech.
Let me ask you this, Foots. Where are you with David Bailey, TJ Parker, and I believe it's Zion Young kid? Where are you at with them guys on that?
So Young would be a trade back option. I talked to Young at the Senior Bowl. He said that he basically told me off the record like that the Cowboys do have interest in him. So that could be like a sneaky name. Now I'm getting to use my credentials, John. You know what I'm saying? I was on the field with these guys. No, but he actually plays a lot like DeMarcus Lawrence. So David Bailey, I don't see him getting to 12. You had to take him at 12, Law, and that's your stand-up outside 3-4 guy, still. That's your OLB.
Okay.
Now,
wait. David Bailey, the kid from Tech?
Yeah.
He's not falling to 12?
Yeah, he wouldn't make it to 12.
He said
Okay,
he
all right.
won't.
I'm making
No,
sure.
I said no, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't make it to 12,
Okay.
John.
Oh,
John, we could bring this to the show. I have heard some character stuff, and the only reason why I bring this up is because
Cool, that'll
of what
drop
happened
him from
with-
3 to 7.
Well, just
That
think
dude
about
ain't
what
making
just
it to
happened.
12. This
Jalen
draft is
Carter
too weak for that.
murdered, and I don't know if he murdered, but he was a part of something crazy, and he
Not
was
just
9.
laugh at that. I did
I
not
shouldn't
laugh
say
at
that.
that.
My bad. I shouldn't say that.
right.
But he was a part of something major and went to 9. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, still remember all this stuff that just happened
James
with Pierce.
Pierce, yeah.
I was gonna say, Law. That's the only reason. Still, the Pierce stuff is nasty. That just came out.
So is
around
that? But is that the
time.
character concern? Because if it is of the Pierce elk, then
He keep be a Cowboy.
I don't think it's that bad. We'll talk offline. But I'll say this. Bailey's not making it to 12, even probably with the stuff he has. So in all seriousness, though, John, I mean, I see why John went that way. And
I mean, if you tell me what they do in free agency, you tell me what they do leading up to the draft.
That's
it
why
makes
I
it a
was
lot easier.
mock draft till free agency.
Yeah, it makes a lot easier because I can tell you this right now. If you tell me that they add something at edge rusher where I'm like, okay, you don't have to force it here, and they don't do much at linebacker. CJ Allen was there from Georgia, but again, I'm sticking to my board, and my board had him at 32. And those are the type of things I don't want to hear after the draft. That we got our 32nd guy, we took him at 20. So again, I'm sticking to my board, which is what I want the Cowboys to do.
We're gonna end up drafting
I'm
Proctor, baby.
John. So Johnny,
Aiden Proctor, baby.
I'm doing.
Well, no, actually, in my scenario, it was 32 and 15. Though, Sky.
Yeah. Oh, you
Volk was
100%.
my 15
If
guy.
pick your guy. Pick your guy. 15 and 30. It's just, man.
And I know how much you value DNs. You explained before, which I'm not.
Well, they don't really have any, so that's why I value them. No,
here's why I want to fight John a little bit. I'm doing.
Round one.
Let's go.
I'm doing a deep dive. We'll get to these supers and then we gotta go.
Yeah.
I will say this though, John. In all seriousness, the Cowboys have. I'm honestly not mad at them even doing the whole Booker thing and just going super floor. And the reason why is because you can't mess this up. And CJ Allen is the cleanest at 20. He'd be so clean, John. Because if you hear how Kirby Smart talks about him, like I was doing some deep dives on how much he was like, bro, he erases us. He calls our defense. He's practicing harder than everybody, every practice. He hits the hardest. We have to slow him down in practice. I'm just like, I need one of those guys on this team.
Oh no, it was between him. It was him, Mesidor, and Falk, who I was considering.
We would know it too because if we see Deribe, if Deribe comes into the damn war room, we know we're gonna get CJ, right?
Yeah.
So and then look, Muschamp, Georgia Connect, Deribe, Georgia Connect. Yeah.
Kirby will go to war for this guy. And that was a good mock, John. It was well thought out. It was a good mock.
I would say this though for everybody in the chat, man. I love mocks as long as you can explain them, right? And John was able to explain, Foots was able to break it down, and Sky was able to add in. So as long as you can explain your pick, then go with it. Look, this is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun.
Y'all, we got almost 600 people here on the third offseason. Man, Cowboys Collective won the
numbers do be
literally the best podcast in the world. And I'm
rocking,
watching. This is the one. So if you want that real, you better come over here. I feel like, to me, you have to get a shirt thing. The picks are pointless if you miss half a year later. Trade the 12 and 20 picks to the Cards for 3. Take Caleb Downs. Too cool. I'm not mad at that. I don't know if I'd do 12 and 20 though. Good stuff. Without
right.
Go ahead.
Did you see the Zach Wilchuk joint this on Twitter?
That was good.
Oh my gosh, I would do that in a heartbeat.
I think that's actually one of the supers. So
goodness. Okay.
I think that's one of the supers. But let's go here. Without Pickens, this offense is not the same. Thank you for the $2. Absolutely too cool.
I agree.
It's really keeping GP versus having a good defense. Diddler, thank you for the 2.
I feel like that is short-sighted as heck. Like that's just because you keep GP doesn't mean you can't get a good defense. Like, why do we do that Why do we do that to ourselves?
Right. Is he there?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. If Pickens is traded, if Clark gone.
You didn't read the other one, bro.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
This one?
Yep.
Hell nah, Javon take.
Hell nah, John.
Oh, hell nah, John. Javon can block it. No comp. Oh,
wait.
That was a clowny Javonte conversation.
Oh, yeah. We're all the way back.
You went to
John's spicy tonight, baby. If
We're
Pickens-
big bucks for blocking backs. Continue.
Ooh, I like the jab, John. If Pickens
I
is
mean,
traded-
you're going to be paying almost $70 million for wide receivers. I mean, someone can run the ball. Anyway, go on.
if Pickens-
$70 million on wide receivers, 60 on the quarterback. Yeah, we need to worry about the blocking back. Continue.
Travis Etienne, baby.
That was a Zeke conversation years ago. He can block. All right, dog.
Yeah.
Can he run? No.
No, but I mean, it's just how low that the bar has been set by the Cowboys that you put some guys back there who can't block at all. So, yeah. Anyway, go on.
if Pickens is traded with Clark gone, if you trade Michael for a first, Caleb Williams, and all removed for nothing, truly has to keep Pickens. Yeah, I agree. I agree too. Cool. Thank you for the $10, brother.
I don't agree with the Clark one. We didn't get to this. We did not get to the conversation today with the whole Crosby thing. But I would 100% clear Clark so I can have extra cap to not worry about the Crosby acquisition. But that's a conversation we didn't have. That's a whole nother show apparently. But I would move off of Clark if I can nab a high end guy for sure. It's over. I'm not saying something's wrong with overkill, but if I can replace Clark with a high end player at a different position of need, I'm doing it without thinking twice.
Yeah,
That's real.
I agree.
Style ceiling is Fred Warner and the floor is Isaiah Simmons. You have to know. That was what I was. This is good too. Cool. That's what I was saying. That was what he's actually right, especially when you talk about like him versus CJ Allen. That's why I'm just like, you don't have, because I've seen people. I mean, Dane has Styles all the way up to 5. I didn't agree with that, and I love Dane Brugler. I don't think he's the 5th best player in this draft, but that's for another conversation.
It's hard though right now to find him in a realistic mock that he falls to 12 though, because if he's at 12, I obviously would have taken him.
Yeah, on Tankathon, they got him falling to 12th, and these are the guys that they got. I know we got to go, but he got Mendoza, Reese, the Mongolia kid, Ruben, Tate, Bano, Downs, Love, Bailey, Mansour, McCoy, and then Styles.
So yeah, that's perfect because you got both the corners go, and you got 3 offensive tackles that go. Yes, if that happens, then that potentially could be it. I just still find it hard to believe that people will be in love with all those tackles and those 2 corners that high. I mean, you're drafting those 2 corners at J. Steele, Patrick Surtain level.
There's going to be a mystery player that sneaks in there after the combine.
Yeah,
you guys know
all it takes is one. I think one could get another team maybe panic like, oh snap, we thought he was going to fall, so now let me just get this guy.
1,000% still, 1,000%. It's a weak top of the draft. See, I don't agree with that, but that's why I don't agree with.
I mean, it's fine if you're in like the top 8, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, and I'm thinking scouts and mocks are overrating the best player in the Giants draft. Yep, I think so too. Too cool. You've been showing love, too cool, man. Cards makes sense to trade with. They can get an OT and a QB with 12 and 20. I'm moving up because the Giants take downs. This is a tricky draft. Okay, don't think the Giants will take that.
Man, 12 and 20.
You're not taking you're not taking.
I ain't doing that, bro. I'm trying to figure out how I can trade 20 for Max. I'm not trading 12 and 20 for Downs. I would trade 12. Remember we were talking about if Downs falls around 8 range, yeah, I'd go up 4 spots. I'd go up 3 spots, 2 spots. Because it ain't gonna cost you no 20.
Get in front of the Commanders, yeah.
Yeah.
Born in Lights, go get the chance. Thank you, Lone Star Chef. Appreciate you, Steph. Excuse me. Sam Williams. He's not on a contract.
Athletes first.
That was when we were talking about overrated. I think he's rated perfectly because he wasn't good and people thought he wasn't good.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. John make me sick. He's so hard to impress. Javonte Black. Hey, leave John alone, Max. Leave him alone.
Legendary blocker. I'll give him that. Legendary. If you've never seen Ezekiel Elliott, right?
You gotta get used to this, John. Our fans is gonna come at us sometimes, man. We just gotta,
So what's wrong? What am I doing wrong?
I'll fight back with him.
What am I doing wrong?
You ain't doing nothing wrong.
So I'll say what
They
I want
hate
to
you,
say.
they love you, and they hate you again. Man.
That's right.
I'm fine with it. You think it's the first time I've seen it? I've covered the team for 15 years, not a single Super Bowl, so I'm used to it.
Hey, John.
Naughty.
They still on my ass over Kelvin Joseph. I was like, hey, man, hey, even if
I'm fine. I'm fine when they come at me for being critical of the team because the team gives me plenty of things to be critical about.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, it's different when you're doing live streams and they do it because it can knock you off your rocker, make you want to come at the. So it take a little getting used to is on live is what I'm saying.
Facts.
Yeah, they still reminded me that I hated Tyler Booker last year. So. Yeah, we bring back Reed.
They got some. They got the chat got the greatest memory of all time. Man.
Oh, yeah.
They was,
and they're never wrong.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I always say about that situation is that when they are wrong, they don't have a camera that had to come into and explain it. They could just who cares? They're wrong, right? We gotta like, you know what? We wrong, dog.
We wrong, man. Come on, man.
Hold on, go back to the other one because I will bring back Rico too.
I will too for a cup of coffee.
If you don't want Javonte, give me Rico.
Yeah, and he showed, and he wants to. That's the thing with him. He said he wants to. He said he wouldn't mind coming back, and he wants to help a team. So
I'll take a shot.
I honestly, I do think. I mean, with everything that we've said, I do think that Javonte comes back. I think they find a way. The only where I'm at on is if it's one of these, he just gets offered a boatload of money from somebody else and like some 3-4 year deal, then you got to find another running back.
But you know who else I'll take?
Paid a boatload of money.
I would put on an incentive contract.
Hey, the same teams that you were just talking about trading up for funny players in the draft. That's who does it. There's 32 teams, but they're not all 32 smart teams.
But that running back market has been, man.
I'll take a flyer.
They need to get lawyers.
Even though J.K. Dobbins been hurt a lot, he was looking good for like at least 4 or 5 weeks.
He'd be. I'd like him too if you exhausted all of your resources because you know what's gonna happen, right? He getting hurt.
He getting hurt.
It is 100% guaranteed. J.K. Dobbins is getting hurt.
But man, when he was
crazy.
Sheesh.
For this team, I would try to get Breece Hall with Javonte.
Yeah, Breece Hall. So if you get Breece Hall, and that's actually, honestly, bro, we probably should do that. We should probably try to find a way to get Breece Hall and Javonte so you're not even thinking running back in the draft.
That would be a nasty comp.
Might be a little expensive, but me, bro, I got there's a 3-year window in that contract. Granted, you can extend them again. I don't know if they're gonna do that.
Guys, I got Jaden Blue.
I mean, I like Jaden Blue. He's a good 3. He'd be a good 3 with that group.
That's a good point. Somebody get hurt.
Don't wear them. Doesn't wear them shoes.
Couldn't get on the field to the last game of the season. So that's telling. Downs, Styles, Bailey, Reese, and Bain. This is truly your top 5. Thank you, Too Cool again. You can draft all players from 6 to 31 with no huge difference. Move up. I'm with you, Too Cool. You got to have a trading partner. I'm a little bit of the different elk. Dallas needs to pinpoint. They need to do their research and have their guy for what they want for this scheme. I'm not going to sit here and say this is a bad draft because you say that about every draft. Every draft is next year's draft going to be better. And then the quarterback, I get it. Now, what John's saying about there's no quarterbacks in this class, that's true. Doesn't mean it's a bad draft. In my opinion.
Hey, Too Cool. Go ahead and send $100 in, man. Show you.
Too Cool coming soon. I will be there in the future with you all. Keep much love, bro. And then Too Cool again.
Too Cool. Come on with it.
How do you feel about 5-year trade? I think we hit on that last year. We would love to do that.
I love it. It'd be like NBA.
Yeah. I would like it. Move 2020.
I'm a trading mother dog. I'm always trying to find. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to find a dance partner.
The best deal. And then send me a Cowboys Collective shirt. We don't have one.
We don't got no merch.
No merch. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Some merch, man.
We'll put John on the shirt on the first one. On the first merch.
Let's go.
Here's
John.
And here's Johnny. Yeah, hey, that's the joint right there.
Yeah, that could be it right there. Like a silhouette of John Machota in the back of it. I'm just saying. I think that's sell.
Yeah. What hat is he gonna be wearing?
All of John's Detroit fans, man.
Yeah,
that Joker out up there.
We got to put a Duke logo on the joint.
No.
I'm about to be there Monday night.
You going?
I am. Yeah.
Enjoy, bro. Enjoy.
Yeah, and exactly why I'm getting frustrated with this whole defensive coordinator press conference.
When is
putting that next Monday, Tuesday? You've had 2 weeks to do this thing. Don't be doing it when I
March
go to
Madness
Durham.
coming up here soon.
If John is not there, because John asks the best questions, you and Todd Archer.
Yeah, you got to, man.
We don't want Clarence asking about where he
really
wants.
good questions too.
Clarence will be fine. Clarence can help carry it.
Clarence gonna ask, hey, so what kind of foods you like, my dog?
No, Clarence. No, that's not what Clarence gonna ask. Clarence gonna ask, Why they pick you and not Jim Leonard? Tell us.
Right.
No way. No way.
No, this is a Clarence question. Would you rather coach Micah Parsons or, you know what I'm saying? Like, God dang, man.
When you went into the meeting and they said they traded Micah, did that deter you? Like he would get shots out of chill.
Man, you guys are tough on Clarence.
Just like
He like
God.
it though. Clarence love being a villain.
He definitely do. He don't mind it. All right, y'all. Great show, banger of a show. Numbers were excellent. We will see you guys next week. More draft. Hopefully, we got a press conference, and hopefully Duke wins so John can come back happy. We love you guys. Till the next time. That's law.
Go Duke.
They're law. Hey.
There we go.